Kachunga, my friends, Kachunga. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name, as you should know by now, is Trev the Rev. I ain't no vicar. Happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year. And I know what you're thinking. If you're shouting Happy New Year, why didn't you do this yesterday when it was the New Year? Well, I knew there'd be a lot of people doing videos and stuff yesterday. So I thought I'd do mine today. I thought I'd go back to my Saturday and do it today. Now, if you're wondering the noise in the background, that's the blinking wash machine that's trying to take off for the kitchen. So I do apologise for in the background. I hope it'll go soon and we can get on with the show. So I hope you all had a lovely Christmas, and you all had fun on the New Year's Eve night, or well, behaved yourself, but had fun. And obviously, we're now in the year 2021. There's going to be a better year than last year. I know you say that. You say it's got to be a better year, but my year weren't that bad. We've gone from living in lodgings to getting our own flats. Things have improved for myself and my partner, or my partner, me and the missus. So, yes, we had a good year last year. But in general, especially going down to the COVID fun that's been going around, this year's got to be better than last year, hasn't it? So, yes, so welcome. I'm going to go through my standard stuff. If you like my video, if you've enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so already and you'd like to see some more of my vids, I'm hoping to make ones for this year. They're going to only improve. If you want to see some more of my stuff, please subscribe button. It's just down there somewhere on the YouTube page. Just go down, subscribe, and we want to know when they're coming out. Just ring that bell. Ring the bell. And they'll tell you when they're coming out, so you can watch it live. Because I like doing my shows live, and that's one thing I've always tried to do. I do some pre-recordings like I did with my 12 Days of Christmas. And if you haven't seen that, find it on the page. It is quite funny. It's an alternate version of the 12 Days of Christmas. And I love doing my videos live because when I make mistakes, I don't cover them up. I don't go back over to the video and edit them out to make it look better. I like to keep my videos as you see them. So always see it live. You never know when it's going to go wrong, including cats walking across the laptop while I'm trying to film. You get my So there's no jokes today. I'm going to go straight into the subject matter. A man before his time. Now, I suppose you're now wondering who this man is. I have many heroes from the past. Many heroes. As you heard before, when I was covering the subject matter, I'm talking about, because most people know who watches video. I'm from the UK. So a lot of my heroes are from the UK. And you're talking about Robin Hood, you're talking about Arthur, William Tell from Europe. One of my biggest hits, I do have another set of people that I'm a massive fan of. I'm very fond of these guys because these are people were, in my eyes, they were here before their time. And you're talking about Leonardo, not the turtle, not Leonardo da Vinci. He was here before his time, I personally believe. And another person that was here before his time, I do mean he was here before time, is this guy. And you're about to find out about who he is now. I'm not going to mention his name straight away. It will come in. Let's start. Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Imagine a beam of energy that could bring down planes from miles away with nothing. And I'm not talking about Star Wars here. Well, I suppose it could be if it went from one time. But anyway, imagine a beam of energy that could bring down planes from miles away with nothing but electricity. Imagine an invisible wall of energy protecting a country from invasion, and now we're going into the realms of or Sue Storm from Fantastic Four. Acting as an electric fence that can vaporize enemy soldiers the second they step foot inside. Sounds like something most militaries would love to get their hands on, doesn't it? Those who don't know, Nikola Tesla, yes, Nikola Tesla, a man before his time, was a Serbian-American inventor. Electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, physicist, and a futurist. Best known for his contributions to the design of the modern alternating. See, I'm really getting tongue-tied over these words, and the simple words as well. I'm not doing a Russian one this week. Oh, you should have seen the other episode done the other week with all Russians. Oh, God. Alternating current electricity supply system. He's also probably the greatest geek who ever lived. Geek. Now, yes. Nikola Tesla lived in a world where many people at the time still lit their houses by candlelight. Today, every household with power uses his invention for alternating current. Tesla has worked for Edison in his early career. The feud over owed costs and then the adoption of Tesla's AC current over Edison's DC current in homes across the US meant the two could never see eye to eye. It could have been because one was taller than the other. You know, you can't see eye to eye if you're different sizes. And spent quite a bit of time attempting to discredit the other's work. There are many textbooks out there that still represent Thomas Edison as the father of the electrical age. In recent times, more and more websites, forums, and museums and the likes have dedicated time and money to set the history books straight. So, it's in facts. You may or may not know. Tesla, I'm not going to say Nikola Tesla all the time. Tesla hated the idea of war and designed his Tesla death ray in the hopes that he could completely eliminate warfare. He just wanted the best for mankind, not for himself. It's the dream of this kind of death ray had inspired weapons developers for decades, but one brilliant inventor, Tesla, claimed to have actually created one. Tesla was born in what is now Croatia in 1856, where he received an education in engineering before immigrating to the United States. There he got a job working for Thomas Edison before striking out on his own as an inventor. Many of Tesla's inventions in this period were revolutionary. He primarily focused on proven systems for generating electric power and transmitting electric current. In addition, he also made important innovations in the field of radio technology. Tesla killed the radio star. Tesla killed the radio star. No, it doesn't sound right, does it now? Tesla's biggest dream was to find a way to beat limitless power directly through the air. Over the course of his life, he managed to develop a number of devices that could transmit electric energy wirelessly, but the lack of funding limited his research. However, in 1934, Tesla claimed that his research had resulted in an incredible new discovery, a device that could kill from miles away with electricity. See, shocking news, isn't it? Shocking invention. Tesla called his invention the Teleforce. While many now know it as the Tesla death ray, the inventor resisted the term to describe it because he didn't transmit rays as a ray of energy would dissipate in the air. Instead, Tesla's invention focused energy along a narrow path which he claimed made it powerful enough to bring down planes and kill people instantly. Ooh. According to Tesla, his invention would make it possible to create a national energy fence that would destroy any enemy that passed through it. However, he hoped that the applications of the invention could be peaceful, making it impossible for armies to attack another country. Tesla hoped that he could completely eliminate warfare. But Tesla's high-minded dreams were limited by a serious problem. No one was interested in funding the project. You see, who'd want to fund something when they're not getting anything back? That's the problem. That's the way a lot of people think. You know, as I said, man before his time. He approached the governments of the United States and the Soviet Union, among others. None offered any money for it. And of course, it's hard to build a massive array without some cash, which Tesla was now chronically short of. But one night in 1937, at a meeting in the Yugoslavian embassy, Tesla told the room that not only was his invention possible, but he had already built one. In fact, he would be unveiling it to the world in a matter of months. However, if Tesla had built a death ray, the world would never see it. Later that same year, Tesla was struck by a car while crossing the street and never fully recovered. In 1943, he died in the New York hotel where he had been living. Upon news of the inventor's death, the US military quickly showed up at the hotel and searched the room for any inventions they didn't want other countries to get their hands on. Officially, they found nothing. So the question is, what happened to it? It's possible, if unlikely, that the government secretly tested death ray. Similar devices were experimented with during the Cold War, which might imply that they used Tesla's invention to develop further technologies. If Tesla did create a death ray and no one took it, then there's no clue as to where he might have put it, nor was there any obvious reason why he never displayed it in publicity. More likely explanation is that Tesla never actually built it. Tesla had suffered from mental illness for most of his life. In his later years, the same time he claimed to have built a death ray, his condition was rapidly growing worse. In fact, the death ray wasn't the only invention he claimed to have created, never produced for the public. In the 1930s, he began making frequent claims of major inventions, like a machine that ran on cosmic radiation. But like the death ray, if any existed, and no one but Tesla ever saw them. Now, while Tesla was undoubtedly a brilliant scientist, the Tesla death ray is probably just one more invention that only existed in his mind. Here's some things about Tesla that you might not know. I'm sure you would know, actually, but you might not. Tesla constructed a 43.2 meters tower in Colorado Springs, which could project bolts of man-made lightning over 30 meters. Making up new words. Combine project and bolts got bolts. He invented the first remote control, demonstrated on a toy boat in 1898. In his old age, Tesla became somewhat of an eccentric with characteristics of OCD. He became obsessed with the number 3, only ate boiled food and communicated with pigeons. Bit coo there. Coo, coo, coo. In an attempt to discredit Tesla's AC invention, Edison electrocuted animals in public to show its potential dangers. Edison would later go on to invent the electric chair. That was nice, wasn't it? The first hydroelectric power plant was built at Niagara Falls to power New York City. The plant and the technology used were designed by Tesla. At the Columbian Expo in 1893, Tesla combined 12 1,000 horsepower AC generators to power 100,000 incandescent lights. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the washing machine trying to take off. I told you. At the age of 86, Tesla died in poverty in a hotel rented by Westinghouse Corporation. 2 days following his death, all his belongings, including notes and inventions, were seized by the US government. Prior to being demolished in 1917, Tesla had hoped that the Wardenclyffe Tower be used to supply free electricity to the world. Tesla had over 250 registered patents on his name upon his death. These patents include the spark plug, Tesla coil, and radio. Further below. Yeah, I'll go into that in a minute. During World War II, Tesla had plans to build a death beam weapon. Although secret US military tests were conducted, no findings were made public, and all documents in regards to invention and testing disappeared. In addition to these points, there are at least 278 patents accounted for, which were issued to Tesla in a total of 26 different countries. These patents included ideas that were used in modern engineering as well as inventions of his own. We take a look at 10. We're going to take a look at 10 inventions which made him more famous. So these are the 10 of his things he invented. The first is his most famous, which he'll term alternating current. This is Tesla's most important work to date, as it allowed cost-effective distribution of electricity over large distances, something that Edison's direct current would never achieve. Fluorescent and neon lights. Although early work had been done in regards to fluorescent bulbs, it was through Tesla's work that eventually led to an industry commercially producing such lights, albeit some 40 years later. Tesla showcased his work with glass tubes at the World Fair, in which he bent glass in the shape of a famous scientist's name and is noted as an early form of the neon gas light. X-rays. As with his ventures in lighting, Tesla's work with X-rays drew inspiration from previous works and papers from the 1800s. His research included early work such as the Calorium photography, photography, right up to that, which we find in modern medical diagnosis today. Electric motor. In 1930, Tesla invented what we know today as the electric motor, a motor with rotating magnetic fields. This invention went relatively unnoticed in the automobile industry, as the popular fuel engine had already made its mark. In addition, the economic crisis as a result of World War I meant there wasn't much interest in this venture. Electric motors today can be found in everyday life, from household appliances and water pumps to hard drives and electric watches. Did you know Tesla had an eidetic memory, which allowed him to speak 8 languages and memorize complete books and recite them at will? Most of his ideas were thought up in his head without even having written them down. These ideas. Many attribute his lack of further patents due to this. Transistor. Tesla also holds the patents that eventually led to the development of the transistor, of all computing devices such as the PC and the smartphone. Radio. In 1943, the Supreme Court overturned a patent granted to Gulickler Makani as the inventor of the radio. It turns out that Tesla had already patented similar designs in 1897, which ultimately led to him being credited with the invention of the radio. Confusion here arose from the reversal of Tesla's patent in 1904, and then reversed that decision again, which allowed the US government to make use of radio technology without paying any royalties to Marconi for use during the World War. Robotics, Transformers, more than meets the eye. Needless to say, Tesla spent a large portion of his time dedicated to robotics. His vision for the future was filled with ideas of intelligent cars, robot companions, sensors, and autonomous systems. His love for robotics is summed up in a quote: "I have by every thought and act of mine demonstrated, and does so daily to my absolute satisfaction, that I am an automaton endowed with power of movement which merely responds to external stimuli." Laser. Getting in Star Wars again. Tesla developed early high-frequency technologies, and his work on directed energy weaponry in the early 1900s highlight his contributions to the modern laser. The Brightman MASH TV show, Radar. As with the radio, the credit of inventing the radar was wrongfully awarded, this time to Robert A. Watson Watt in 1935. In 1917, Tesla had presented the idea to the US Navy before the start of World War One in an effort to detect German U-boats. At this time, Edison served as head of the Navy R&D and convinced the board that the idea had no practical application in war. Edison put him down again. Resonant frequency. Tesla discovered the Earth's resonant frequency in the 1890s, which he later used in the development of the earthquake machine that was said to have almost demolished an entire suburb in New York when turned on. Now, we have some questions. What did Nikola Tesla believe in? As a humanist, Tesla believed in improving the quality of human life, but not financial gain. And this is why, despite his many inventions and contributions to society, he died poor. Tesla thought of a wireless internet. In 1901, Tesla had an excellent imagination and didn't put all of his ideas into practice. So, was Nikola Tesla a mad scientist? Mad! Really the epitome of a mad scientist. Tesla's scientific brilliance is matched by his equally notable eccentricities, greatly overshadowed by his famous employer Thomas Edison. Serbian-born inventor and physicist Nikola Tesla is known mostly as the mastermind behind the AC induction motor and the Tesla coil. Did he have a sense of humour? Most people don't know this, but Tesla had a terrific sense of humour. Cypher said, for example, after dining with the writer and poet Rudyard Kipling, he wrote this in correspondence to a close friend. What is the matter with ink spiller? Kipling. No, I don't get it. It's a joke. Don't get it. Oh, I don't get the joke. Oh, well, it can't be as bad as my jokes, can it? Wow! Cannot be as bad as my jokes. Wow! I shall start with a joke this day. I will tell you, now I've finished talking about Tesla. What are we talking about next week? What are we talking about next week? Well, next week we are talking about one of the most tragic events hit America in the last couple of decades. I'm talking about 9/11 when the planes hit the Twin Towers and stuff. We go through all that. We go all through that. So if you want to listen to all that, I should just tune in next Saturday. We're talking about all that. Yes. So on that note, it is time, Trev the Rev, to say Chibbalong. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button on YouTube, on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't done so already please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell if you want to know when it's time to coming out. Just remember, ring that bell, ring the bell, ding dong, ding a ling a ling, and tell your friends about the show. Get them to watch the show. Please tell them to watch the show. So until next time, it is Trev the Rev, I ain't no vicar, signing off. See you next Saturday. Bye bye.